The tragic case of 10-year-old Sarah Sharif from Woking, Surrey, in 2023 exposed severe failures in child protection. On the 10th of August, authorities responded to an emergency call from abroad placed by Sarah's father, Irfan Sharif, who had fled to Pakistan with his wife, Binish Batul, and his brother, Faisal Malik, just a day before. Upon arriving at the family home, officers discovered Sarah's lifeless body, showing extensive signs of injury, indicating prolonged abuse and neglect. The shocking nature of Sarah's death sparked an international manhunt for her father and his relatives, who became key suspects in the case. The investigation and subsequent trial captivated public attention, shedding light on the horrific abuse Sarah endured and raising urgent questions about the effectiveness of child protection systems.
Just to bear in mind, the mayor has just got contact us, so he's currently driving back to the address. He said he cannot give more details.
Police, hello, anyone in?
He's very hysterical on the phone, they're really struggling.
Yes, we've got an interview with the facts.
Josh, you unlock the front door. Police, hello?
The death of 10-year-old Sarah Sharif triggered shock and outrage across the UK and beyond. A post-mortem examination uncovered over 70 injuries on her body, including fractures, burns, and bruises, some weeks or even months old. The official cause of death was recorded as complications from multiple injuries and neglect, pointing to long-term abuse rather than a single violent act. The extent of Sarah's suffering raised urgent questions about how such horrific mistreatment went unnoticed. Authorities determined that the abuse was systematic and prolonged. As the investigation progressed, a global manhunt was launched for Sarah's father, Irfan Sharif, his wife, Binish Batul, and his brother, Faisal Malik, who had fled to Pakistan just a day before her body was discovered in their Woking home. It soon became clear that Sarah's father, Irfan Sharif, her stepmother, Binish Batul, and her uncle, Faisal Malik, had left the UK just before her body was found. Flight records showed they had flown to Islamabad, Pakistan, with several of Sarah's siblings the day before her death was discovered. Their sudden escape raised suspicions, and police believed they were trying to avoid arrest. After arriving in Pakistan, they hid at different relatives' houses to stay out of sight. But as pressure from British and Pakistani authorities grew stronger, they were forced to speak out. They released a short statement, but many questions remained. People around the world continued to demand justice for Sarah.
Along with Irfan Sharif and Faisal Shahzad Malik are coming forward and presenting ourselves. There are a couple of things I would like to address. Firstly, I would like to talk about Sarah. Sarah's death was an incident. Our family in Pakistan are severely affected by all that is going on. They are harassing my extended family. They have also illegally raided many more of my family members' homes. We have already approached our lawyer, and our lawyer is representing us in Rawalpindi High Court. The next court hearing is on 19th September 2023. My main concern is that the Pakistani police will torture or kill us. That is why we have gone into hiding. Lastly, we are willing to cooperate with the UK authorities and fight our case in court.
British authorities asked Interpol to issue international alerts to help find the suspects and bring them back to the UK. They also worked with Pakistani officials, asking for help to find and arrest Irfan Sharif, Binish Batul, and Faisal Malik. Even with growing international pressure, weeks passed with no sign of the three. The case made headlines around the world. Sarah's extended family in Pakistan said they didn't know where the suspects were and claimed they hadn't seen or spoken to them. This made police more suspicious and the search even harder. Finally, on the 12th of September, 2023, after many talks and strong pressure from both UK and Pakistani authorities, the three suspects were found and arrested at Gatwick Airport.
So which one is your bag?
I don't have any bag.
You have no bag?
No.
Okay. We'll look overhead. Right, can you put your hands together? Your hands together like that, please. Yeah, I'll explain more outside, okay?
Sorry?
I'll explain more
Yeah,
things
yeah.
outside. So you confirm no bag?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I promise you don't have any more bag.
Just confirm what seat he's in. Somewhere in the middle, yeah.
Okay. Fine. We'll hold for a moment and then we'll confirm.
From our side of things. The body of Sarah Sharif was
So just listen carefully to what I have to say. The body of Sarah Sharif was discovered on the 10th of August 2023 at 6 Hammond Road, Horsell. From the injuries sustained by her and the investigation conducted, you are suspected of her murder. You are therefore arrested for the murder of Sarah Sharif.
In the UK, Irfan Sharif, Benish Batul, and Faisal Malik were formally charged with murder and child cruelty. This marked a crucial moment in the case as the justice system prepared to hold those responsible for Sarah's horrific death accountable for their actions. The investigation that followed revealed a disturbing and consistent pattern of abuse and neglect. Over the course of several months leading up to Sarah Sharif's death, various witnesses, including neighbors and school staff, came forward with alarming accounts of Sarah's deteriorating condition. Concerns had been raised about her well-being long before the tragic events of August 2023, yet no meaningful intervention had been made. Reports from Sarah's school painted a haunting picture of a child who had appeared increasingly malnourished and was frequently seen with visible bruises on her body. Despite these warning signs, which should have triggered urgent action from Child Protective Services and law enforcement, Sarah remained in the care of her abusive father, stepmother, and uncle. This failure to act added to the heartbreak of Sarah's tragic death, leaving many questioning how such blatant abuse could go unnoticed for so long. The trial began in December 2024 at the Old Bailey, one of the UK's most renowned courts. During the proceedings, prosecutors presented a wealth of overwhelming evidence that outlined the extent of the abuse Sarah had suffered. Surveillance footage from the family's home, witness testimonies, and detailed medical reports all served as chilling pieces of evidence that told the story of Sarah's last months, filled with pain and torment. In an emotionally charged moment during the trial, Irfan Sharif made a partial confession, admitting that he had beaten Sarah up too much as a form of punishment, but he denied having intended to kill her. This statement shocked the courtroom, emphasizing the brutal and systematic nature of the abuse Sarah had been subjected to. The chilling admission from her father added to the growing sense of horror surrounding her death. The jury deliberated on the evidence and, after careful consideration, they returned a guilty verdict for Irfan Sharif, convicting him of murder. He was sentenced to life imprisonment, with a minimum term of 40 years, ensuring he would spend decades behind bars for the life he took. Benish Batul, Sharif's wife, was also found guilty of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment, with a minimum term of 33 years. Faisal Malik, the uncle, was convicted of causing or allowing the death of a child, and he received a 16-year prison sentence. This verdict brought some measure of justice to Sarah's memory, though the scars left by the tragedy would remain with her family and the community forever.
Irfan Sharif, for the murder of Sarah Sharif, I sentence you to imprisonment for life. Benish Batul, for the murder of Sarah Sharif, I sentence you to imprisonment for life. Faisal Malik, you've been acquitted by the jury of murder, but you've been found guilty of causing or allowing the death of a child. For the offence of causing or allowing the death of Sarah Sharif, I sentence you to imprisonment for 16 years.
After Sarah Sharif's tragic death, her biological mother, Olga Sharif, spoke out with deep pain and frustration. She revealed that she had raised concerns about Sarah's safety many times, but no one listened. Heartbroken, she promised to fight for stronger child protection laws to stop other children from suffering the same fate.
Żadna matka nie powinna oglądać takiego czegoś. Miała policzek napuchnięty, z drugiej strony miała siniaki. Do tej pory, jak zamykam oczy, to widzę, jak moje dziecko wyglądało.
To nie była Sara. Całkiem zmieniona, posiniaczona.
Sarah's case stands as one of the most heartbreaking examples of child abuse in recent years, shining a harsh light on serious failures within the child protection system. Despite clear warning signs, no action was taken, and Sarah's suffering continued until it was too late. Though her father, stepmother, and uncle fled, they were eventually caught. But does their arrest truly bring justice? And more importantly, how many other children are still at risk? Will Sarah's tragic story finally lead to real change in protecting vulnerable children?